Imagine this. You wake up one day, look in the mirror, and realize something deep inside you has been asleep for far too long. You see the tired version of yourself staring back, worn down by the routine, the doubts, the opinions of others. And then, in that quiet moment, a whisper cuts through the noise. Enough. That's the moment your life changes. That's the spark. The world will try to tell you it takes years, or luck, or a perfect plan to transform your life. But the truth? It starts in one instant. One decision. One heartbeat where you decide, I'm done living small. You might be starting from nothing right now. Maybe your bank account's empty. Maybe your dreams have been buried under years of struggle. Maybe you've been told you're not good enough so many times that you almost started believing it. But here's the truth no one tells you. Your starting point doesn't matter nearly as much as your refusal to quit. You could be standing at rock bottom right now and still be closer to the life you want than you realize. Think about the people who've built empires from nothing. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for perfect timing. They didn't wait until the fear went away. They moved through the fear. And if they can do it, you can too. Right now, in this very moment, you have access to the single greatest power on earth, the power to change your own story. And no one can take that from you. Not your past, not your mistakes, not the people who doubt you. You see, going from zero to unstoppable isn't about skipping the struggle. It's about using the struggle as fuel. The challenges in your way, they're not there to break you. They're there to make you. Every setback is a test, and every test you pass builds the unshakable version of you that will rise above it all. But here's the catch. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they never start. They wait for perfect conditions that will never come. They think they need more time, more skills, more connections, more readiness. The truth? You become ready by starting before you feel ready. Look at your own life right now. Where have you been waiting? What goal have you been putting off because it feels too big, too far away, too risky? Maybe you've been telling yourself, I'll start when I have more money, or I'll start when I feel more confident, or I'll start when I have the perfect plan. That's a lie fear has been feeding you to keep you small. The people who succeed, they start with what they have, right where they are. They learn on the way. They take the first step in the dark, trusting they'll figure out the path as they go. And yes, you will feel fear. Fear of failing. Fear of looking foolish. Fear of what people will say. But fear is not your enemy. Comfort is. Fear means you're moving toward growth. Comfort means you're standing still, rotting in the same spot. I want you to imagine something. Close your eyes and picture the version of yourself 5 years from now. The one who did the work, who didn't give up, who faced every setback and kept moving. That version of you lives in a different world. They wake up with purpose. They walk with confidence. They've built something real, a business, a career, a life they're proud of. That version of you looks back at this moment right now and says, thank you for starting. And now picture the other version, the one who never started, who let fear win. 5 years from now, they wake up with the same frustrations, the same unfulfilled dreams, the same excuses. They wonder what could have happened if they'd just taken the leap. They live with regret. Which one do you want to be? Here's the brutal truth. Nobody's coming to save you. No mentor, no friend, no family member, no government, no lucky break. If you're going to change your life, it's on you. That's not bad news. That's freedom. Because if it's on you, that means you don't have to wait for anyone else to give you the green light. You can start right now. You want to go from zero to unstoppable? It starts with taking responsibility for everything. Your wins, your losses, your choices. When you own it all, you control it all. And when you control it all, nothing can stop you. In America, there's a saying, the American dream is built, not given. And that's true no matter where you are in the world. You don't need perfect circumstances to build your dream. You need relentless action. Start small, but start. One phone call, one email, one workout, $1 saved, one habit built. That's how momentum is born. And momentum is the most dangerous weapon in your arsenal, because once it starts rolling, nothing can stand in its way. You're going to have days when it feels impossible, days when the world feels like it's pushing against you. That's when you have to remember, pressure creates diamonds. And if you can survive the pressure, you'll come out sharper, stronger, and ready for more. From this day forward, I want you to treat every challenge as proof that you're on the right track. If it's easy, it's not worth your time. If it's hard, it's building you. And here's the last thing I'll leave you with for now. You don't have to see the whole path to start walking. You just have to take the first step. Once you do, the next step will reveal itself. Then the next. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize you've built something that once felt impossible. So ask yourself right now, are you going to keep waiting or are you going to start? Because the clock's ticking. Your rise doesn't start next month, next week, or even tomorrow. Your rise starts now. You've made the decision. You've drawn the line in the sand. Now comes the part where most people stop, the grind that follows the hype. The truth is, anyone can feel fired up in the first 5 minutes. But it's the next 5 months, the next 5 years, that separate the talkers from the doers. This is where you prove to yourself that your commitment is real. Not when it's easy, not when the conditions are perfect, but when the alarm goes off and you're tired. When the rejection emails hit your inbox. When your friends are out having fun and you're at home working on your craft. That's where the transformation happens, in the moments no one sees. Most people want the results without the responsibility. They love the idea of success, but hate the reality of discipline. They want the applause without the lonely hours, the big wins without the small daily battles. But you're not most people. You wouldn't be here if you were. You've already decided to play a bigger game. And that means showing up on the days you feel like it least. In America, we talk a lot about freedom. But freedom isn't just the right to do whatever you want. Real freedom is earned through discipline. It's the freedom to choose your own path because you've built the skills, the mindset, and the resilience to walk it. You don't get that by wishing for it. You get that by putting in the work when no one's watching. Picture this. Every single day you either add a brick to your foundation or you let the day pass empty. It doesn't matter how small that brick is, a single page written, a single call made, a single workout finished. Over time, those bricks stack up into something unshakable. And then one day, the people who doubted you will look up and see the fortress you built while they were sleeping. But let's be honest, there's a reason so few people ever get there. It's because the path from zero to unstoppable is full of traps. The first trap? Comparison. You start looking at other people's highlight reels on social media, and suddenly you feel behind. You see their cars, their vacations, their so-called overnight success, and you start questioning your own pace. Here's the truth. Most of what you see online is smoke and mirrors. You're comparing your behind the scenes to their best moments. Don't fall for it. The only person you should compete with is the person you were yesterday. You're not racing against them, you're building for you. The second trap is doubt. That voice in your head that says, what if you fail? What if you waste your time? What if you're not cut out for this? Let me answer those questions for you. Yes, you will fail sometimes. Yes, you might waste time on things that don't work. And yes, you will question yourself. But none of that matters if you keep moving. Failure is data. It's feedback. It's the tuition you pay for mastery. The third trap is comfort. Once you start making a little progress, it's tempting to slow down. You feel like you've earned a break. You tell yourself you'll coast for a while. But comfort is where dreams go to die. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. You have to keep raising the bar, keep chasing the edge of what you think is possible. And here's something you need to know. Your journey from zero to unstoppable is going to feel lonely sometimes. People might not understand why you're working so hard. Some might even criticize you, make jokes, or tell you to be realistic. That's because your ambition threatens their comfort. It forces them to see the gap between what they could be doing and what they are doing. Don't take it personally. Use it as fuel. The people who matter, the ones who believe in growth, in hard work, in defying the odds, they'll find you. Your circle will change. You'll start attracting people who are on the same mission, people who don't just talk about it, but live it. And when you find those people, hold on tight, because they'll push you further than you can go alone. Let's talk about momentum again. Because momentum isn't magic, it's math. If you take one step today and another tomorrow, you've doubled your progress. If you do that for a week, you've multiplied it by 7. And as the weeks stack into months, something incredible happens. Your small daily actions start compounding into results you can actually see and feel. Maybe it's your bank account growing. Maybe it's your body getting stronger. Maybe it's your mind becoming sharper. Whatever it is, those results will light a fire under you that makes quitting feel impossible. And that's when you'll realize the grind you once dreaded is now the thing you crave. But don't wait for motivation to carry you there. Motivation fades. It's like a spark, useful but fleeting. What you need is discipline. Discipline is the engine that keeps you moving when the spark burns out. It's the reason Navy SEALs can operate under extreme pressure. It's the reason championship athletes keep training even after they've won. Ask yourself this. What's one thing you can do every single day for the next 30 days that will move you forward? Not a massive leap, just one thing. It could be making 10 calls, reading 10 pages, saving $10, writing 100 words. Do it every day. No excuses. That's how you prove to yourself that you're serious. Because here's the thing. Nobody else has to believe in you right now. Nobody else even has to understand what you're building. The belief comes from you showing up over and over until the results become undeniable. And there's a moment, you'll know it when it comes, when all the little wins start stacking into something real. You'll feel it in your chest. You'll look around and realize, I'm not the same person I was when I started. That's not luck. That's not talent. That's proof. Proof that you were built for this. So keep building. Keep showing up. Keep moving forward when it's boring, when it's hard, when no one's watching. Because that's the difference between people who dream and people who rise. Your journey has already started. Now it's time to accelerate. There comes a point in every journey where the initial excitement is gone. The routines have set in, and you're faced with the quiet reality. This is the grind. No fireworks. No standing ovation. Just you, your vision, and the work. This is the part most people never survive because they confuse a lack of hype with a lack of progress. But progress doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. It hides in the tiny shifts you barely notice until you look back months later and realize you're not who you used to be. The way you think, the way you react, the way you handle problems, it's all changing, even if you can't see it day to day. America loves the big success story, the viral clip, the overnight breakthrough, the Cinderella ending. But what the highlight reels never show is the years of obscurity that came before the spotlight. You never hear about the late nights in a cramped apartment, the weekends sacrificed, the quiet meals eaten alone while the rest of the world was out celebrating. Those moments don't trend on social media, but they're the bricks every empire is built on. And right now, you're laying those bricks. That's why you can't afford to stop. You can't trade your long-term vision for short-term comfort. You can't give up just because the applause hasn't started yet. The applause will come, but only if you earn it. Think about the people you admire most. Entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, innovators. They didn't get there because they were lucky. They got there because they refused to stop when it would have been easier to quit. They understood something most people miss. Success is not about talent. It's about endurance. It's about outlasting the excuses, outworking the competition, and outbelieving everyone who doubts you. Here's the truth. In the US, opportunities are everywhere, but so is distraction. You're surrounded by a culture that tells you to chase quick wins, to look for shortcuts, to quit if it's not easy. That's why so many people settle for good enough. But you're not here for good enough. You're here for unstoppable. That means you have to think differently. You have to live differently. You have to be willing to do the things others won't. Not just once, but over and over until it becomes who you are. And yes, there will be days you want to quit. Days where nothing seems to work, where you're tired of hearing no, where it feels like the world is against you. But here's the secret. Those days are the test. Not the days when everything clicks. Not the days when you're full of energy. The hard days. The days you drag yourself forward, inch by inch, when every part of you wants to give up. That's when you're building the muscle that will carry you through the breakthroughs ahead. Remember this, no one can take your discipline from you. They can take your job, your money, your comfort, even your home. But discipline, that's yours. It's the one thing you can always control. And in a world full of uncertainty, control is power. Here's a picture I want you to keep in your mind. It's 6 a.m. The city is still asleep. Somewhere, someone's alarm is going off, but they hit snooze. Somewhere else, another person is already lacing up their shoes, heading to the gym, sitting at their desk, writing their business plan. The difference between those two people? In a few years, one will be wondering what happened, and the other will be living the life they built. Which one are you going to be? And don't think this is just about money or status. This is about proving to yourself that you can set a vision and follow through. This is about showing up for your future, no matter how hard the present feels. It's about creating a life you don't need a vacation from. Too many people wait for the perfect time to start, the perfect economy, the perfect relationship, the perfect skill set. But perfect never comes. You start now, with what you have, where you are. You learn on the way. You get better as you go. That's how every real success story begins. Not with a perfect plan, but with a decision. And let's be clear, you will have setbacks. You will face moments that break you down and force you to rebuild. But those moments aren't the end of your story. They're the turning points. Every time you fall and get back up, you're proving to yourself and to the world that you're not done yet. Your unstoppable moment won't arrive with fanfare. It will sneak up on you one day when you realize nothing can shake you anymore. Not the fear, not the doubt, not the setbacks. That's when you know you've crossed the line from dreaming about success to living it. But you have to earn it. Every rep in the gym, every late night at the desk, every dollar you save instead of spend, it's all adding up. Right now, while you're reading this, your future self is watching you, hoping you make the moves that will change everything. And the best part? The same discipline you're building right now will carry you into every area of life. Your career, your health, your relationships. It's the foundation for everything. That's why you can't treat this like a hobby. This is your life's work. The world is full of people waiting for someone else to rescue them. But not you. You've already made the decision to rescue yourself. You've chosen the harder path now for the easier life later. You've chosen growth over comfort. And that's why you're going to win. Because when you look back years from now, you won't remember the nights you stayed up working as a sacrifice. You'll remember them as the nights you built your future. You won't remember the early mornings as pain. You'll remember them as the mornings you proved you were serious. From zero to unstoppable isn't a slogan, it's a process. And you're in it. Right here, right now. The only question is, will you keep going when it gets hard? Will you keep building when no one's cheering? Will you keep believing when the results are still invisible? I know you will. Because deep down, you already know something most people never figure out. You're not just chasing a dream. You're becoming the kind of person who can live it. At some point, you have to stop asking for permission to live the life you want. Stop waiting for someone to say, okay, now you're ready. You decide when you're ready. You decide when enough is enough. Too many people hand over the steering wheel of their lives to other people, bosses, friends, even strangers online. They wait for validation, for approval, for a green light. But unstoppable people? They build their own road, paint their own lines, and drive forward before anyone else even sees the destination. This country is filled with examples of people who started with nothing but a vision and the courage to move. From the single mom in a small Midwestern town who built an online business after her kids went to bed, to the immigrant who arrived with $50 in his pocket and turned it into a multi-million-dollar company. These are not fairy tales. These are proof that here, in the US, the ceiling isn't set, unless you accept it. But here's the thing, they didn't get there by accident. They didn't wait for the perfect circumstances. They made the decision to go all in, even when it was uncomfortable, even when the odds were stacked against them. And so can you. Every morning you wake up, you're faced with a choice, stay in the same place or take one step forward. And one step forward might not feel like much, but over time, that's how you cover miles. That's how you look up one day and realize you're not even in the same place you started. What's holding you back? Fear of failure? Fear of judgment? The truth is, failure is a better teacher than success ever will be. Every time you fall short, you learn exactly what not to do next time. That's not losing. That's evolving. And judgment? People will talk no matter what you do. You might as well give them something worth talking about. In America, people respect results. They don't care where you came from, what your past looked like, or who doubted you. They care about what you can create. So create something. Build something. Show them, and yourself, that you can turn a dream into something real. And stop underestimating the power of momentum. It's not about taking massive leaps every day. It's about stacking small wins until the weight of your progress is too heavy to stop. The day you stop moving is the day you start sliding backward. Picture this. Someone else right now, somewhere in your city, is working on the same dream you have. The only difference? They're acting while you're still thinking. In a year, you'll see them succeed and wonder why it wasn't you. But the truth will be simple. They just started sooner. Don't let that be your story. And yes, you're going to be misunderstood. People will call you obsessed, crazy, unrealistic. They'll wonder why you don't just settle like everyone else. That's fine, because they don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel. They're not responsible for your dream. You are. Every great American success story had a chapter that looked like failure. A chapter where the hero was broke, tired, and tempted to quit. But they didn't quit. And that's the difference. You might be in that chapter right now. You might be staring at an empty bank account, a list of problems longer than your wins, and a future that feels far away. But you're not stuck. You're building. And one day, this exact moment will be the story you tell to inspire someone else. That's why you have to push harder now. This is not the time to slow down. This is the time to go all in. To pour every ounce of energy, focus, and determination you have into the vision you're chasing. Because if you can show up fully now, when it's hard, when it's lonely, when it's unclear, you'll be unstoppable when the momentum shifts in your favor. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need the courage to keep moving. The road will reveal itself as you walk it. The right connections, the right opportunities, the right timing, they'll all show up. But they'll only show up if you're in motion. And don't forget, every skill you learn, every habit you build, every obstacle you overcome, it's not just getting you closer to your goal. It's shaping you into the kind of person who can handle it once you get there. The person you are today might not be ready for the life you're chasing, but the person you're becoming will be. That's why the process matters just as much as the result. If you're going to be unstoppable, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Growth happens in the space between where you are and where you want to be, and that space will test you. It will demand more from you than you thought you had. But that's the point. You don't discover your strength by staying where it's safe. You discover it by pushing past the limits you've been told to accept. And when you do, you'll look around and realize you're no longer competing with others. You're competing with who you were yesterday. That's the real race. That's the one worth winning. So take the shot. Make the call. Launch the project. Send the email. Knock on the door. Whatever your next move is, make it now. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. Because every day you wait is another day someone else gets ahead. This is your life. This is your time. No one's coming to hand it to you. You have to claim it. You have to fight for it. And once you have it, you have to protect it. From zero to unstoppable isn't just a journey. It's a declaration. It's you saying to the world, watch me. Not asking, not hoping, not wishing, declaring. And the world will watch. And when they see you win, they'll call you lucky. But you'll know the truth. Luck had nothing to do with it. It was you, all along. There's a moment in every great story when the hero realizes there's no going back. No safety net. No backup plan. Just a choice. Rise or fall. You are standing in that moment right now. Everything you've been through, every late night, every setback, every doubt, every small win has brought you here. This is the point where average people give up. This is the point where dreamers turn into quitters. But you didn't come this far to walk away empty-handed. Think about what's at stake. Your future. Your family's future. The person you promised yourself you'd become. Are you willing to throw that away because it's hard right now? Or are you ready to fight like your life depends on it? Because in a way, it does. The life you settle for will become your reality. The job you tolerate, the income you accept, the habits you keep, they will define your days. And if you're not careful, you'll wake up one day realizing you traded your potential for comfort. But you're not here for comfort. You're here to become unstoppable. And unstoppable people make decisions that scare them. They walk into rooms they feel unqualified to be in. They take risks that make other people shake their heads. They bet on themselves when no one else will. And here's the truth. You're not starting from zero anymore. Not after everything you've learned, survived, and built. You've got scars that prove you've been in the fight. You've got skills that came from showing up even when you didn't feel ready. You've got a mindset that's sharper, stronger, and hungrier than it was when you started. That means now is the time to turn it up. No more half commitments. No more waiting for permission. No more holding back in case it doesn't work out. Go all in. People will try to slow you down. They'll tell you to be realistic, to take this safe path, to keep your expectations low so you don't get disappointed. But the people giving you that advice, they're speaking from their own limits, not yours. America has always been built by the ones who ignored limits. The ones who saw empty fields and imagined cities. The ones who saw a problem and created the solution. The ones who were told no 1,000 times and kept pushing until they got a yes. That's the spirit you need to carry now. Because every single dream you've been chasing is closer than you think, but only if you refuse to stop. Yes, you're going to be tired. Yes, you're going to have moments when you question everything. But that's when you push harder. That's when you dig deep. That's when you remind yourself why you started. Think about the version of you 5 years from now. The one who didn't quit. The one who fought for it. The one who's living in the house they used to only dream about. Driving the car they once thought was out of reach. Waking up every day knowing they beat the odds. That version of you is real, but they're waiting on the decisions you make today. If you quit now, you'll never meet them. If you keep going, you will. And when you do, you'll look back at this moment and realize it was the turning point. Don't underestimate what can happen in a year of relentless focus. Don't underestimate what can happen when you stop letting excuses win. Your time is now, not next year, not when you feel ready, not when the stars align. Now, because if you don't act now, someone else will. And they'll take the spot, the opportunity, the recognition, the success that could have been yours. You owe it to yourself to find out what happens if you don't give up. You owe it to yourself to see what's possible when you push past the limits you've believed your whole life. This isn't about proving other people wrong anymore. This is about proving yourself right. Proving that deep down, you always knew you were capable of more. That voice inside you, the one that whispers you're meant for something greater, has been telling the truth all along. So this is it. This is your call to arms. Your moment to decide that no matter what comes next, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many times you fall, you will not stop. When you feel like quitting, remember this. Someone is watching you right now, hoping you make it. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's your friends. Maybe it's a stranger you'll never meet. But your fight will give them permission to fight for their own dreams. From zero to unstoppable isn't just your journey, it's your legacy. And one day, when you're standing on the other side of this, living the life you fought for, people will ask how you did it. They'll expect a secret, but you'll tell them the truth. I refuse to stop. I refuse to let fear win. I kept showing up until I became the kind of person who couldn't be stopped. So take a deep breath, square your shoulders, and step forward with everything you've got. Because the world isn't waiting for you to be ready. It's waiting for you to show up. And when you do, when you walk into your future with fire in your eyes and fight in your soul, nothing and no one will be able to hold you back. Your rise starts now. Now go make it happen.